Chinmaya Mission was established in India in 1953 by devotees of Swami Chinmayanand and now has over 300 centers across the globe through which the mission makes available the ancient ageless wisdom of Advait Vedanta, the knowledge of universal oneness, providing the tools for realizing this wisdom in one's life. This knowledge is available across age groups, starting from infants to the elderly, and is unique to each. Chinmay Mission conducts spiritual camps, retreats, public talks, and runs many Chinmay Vidyalayas across the country. It's also in the forefront for social service. One arm of Chinmay Mission called CORD, Chinmay Organization for Rural Development, works for the upliftment of the underprivileged, and in COVID times, campaigns such as Maximize Happiness and Each One Reach One have been there to help reach out to those less fortunate. Today's workshop is organized by Chinmay Yuva Kendra or CHIK as we call it. Let's watch this video for a little glimpse of CHIK.
Why are you the way that you are?
This is the greatest company in the world!
Pooja, what is this behavior?
I'm sorry, I kicked it by mistake.
You can't kick it by mistake.
Then pick it up if it bothers
No,
you.
you will pick it up.
You don't tell me what to do.
I can tell you what
You
to do.
do not tell me what to do.
You
do not tell me what to do.
Or what? Are you going to hit me?
Do you want it?
I don't want
Because you're
it.
asking for it. You're dying for it.
I'm fine.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm fine. Totally fine. I don't know why it's coming out all loud and squeaky, because really, I'm fine.
Now, if you two don't mind, I'm going to bed before either of you come up with another clever idea to get us killed, or worse, expelled.
Iron Man. Wax on, wax off.
Do or do not. There is no try.
So that was a little glimpse of CHIK. Here in Mumbai, our activities over the past few months have included workshops on topics such as finance planning, mindfulness, and mindful eating, as well as today's workshop, which will be by Swamiji on Swadharma. And now, as we get into today's topic, I'd like to first introduce Swami Swatmananda. Swamiji is currently leading Chinmay Mission Mumbai and is the former National Director Projects of the All India Chinmay Yuva Kendra. Swamiji is an ardent devotee of Pujya Gurudev, Swami Chinmayanand, and using innovative methods is known to simplify even the most difficult of texts. For the youth, Swamiji brings the knowledge home through festival celebrations, and debates. Swamiji is also responsible for conceptualizing and spearheading Chinmay Pradeep, a one of its kind outdoor Vedantic vision park at our ashram in Powai. Even in this current pandemic situation, as you can see, it hasn't dampened Swamiji's dynamism and focus as he continues to reach out to hundreds of people every day through his sessions over Zoom and YouTube, his podcasts, blogs, and his daily nuggets on Instagram. His handle on social media and YouTube is Chinmay Shivam, and his podcasts are available on Apple Music, Podomatic, and Spotify. With pranams, it's now over to you, Swamiji.
All right. Thank you, Ananya, for the introduction. Hello, and welcome to everyone. If any of you want to put your videos on, you are welcome to put your videos on so that we can see each other, and this session will be quite interactive. So when you want to speak, you can put on your mic and speak, put it off. Okay, so our topic is 2 steps closer. This is to explore our inner calling. What we call as Swadharma in our scriptures, in the Gita, in Vedanta. And this is a very important aspect as young people because it influences, affects all our interactions and our experiences in life. Swadharma means one's own inner nature, temperament, calling, whatever we say. It is not just limited to the career. It is spanning the whole life. Specifically, when we have to choose a career, it makes a big role, but it plays a big role, but it also plays a big role in every aspect, like in choosing in relationships. What type of a person I am, then based on that, I choose any person for my life as a life partner or even my friend circle. What kind of subjects I would study, what kind of goals I would set. Everything is influenced by my study. Specifically today, we may be focusing on how to discover that inner calling in terms of the career choice, because that is something that many people struggle with. But when we understand ourselves as we are, then, as I said, it will affect all aspects of our life. Our social life, our professional life, our student life, our family life, our personal life, everything. So now, let us begin. Before we begin, a few disclaimers. I am not going to give you any magic mantra or a magic potion. There is no magic wand that suddenly you use that and you will come to discover the Swadharma. It has to be our effort. We have to ask ourselves questions. Each one of us have to look within and we have to discover. Secondly, we all are explorers on this path. The person who has found one's own Swadharma becomes a role model for others. They can also derive inspiration from them and they can find their own Swadharma. And helping each other, one can evolve. And third point is, this journey, like it is a, see the mountains are behind, right? So we have to reach, let us say, we are climbing, we are traveling on this journey, exploring. So in any journey, we have fuel. We have to eat something, we have to drink water, we have to keep ourselves hydrated, time to time eat some fruits, nuts, whatever, protein bar, something like that. What is the fuel in this journey? The main fuel in this journey will be our questions. What kind of questions we ask ourselves and how we answer them. The discovery of Swadharma depends mainly on that. There are many methods to discover Swadharma. Today there are lots of aptitude tests and psychological psychometric tools which people use. I'm going to share the spiritual perspective here, and as I said, we will explore certain things and keep it interactive. So I'm going to share some points that we have prepared for this, and through that we will have our interaction. So yes, the first activity is describe yourself. That is the first activity. And you have to describe yourself in adjectives. So I am, then each adjective should describe you. Take a minute or so and describe. Write between 10 to 15 minimum adjectives that you think describe you as a person. For anyone who has just joined, the activity is describe yourself with adjectives. Minimum between 10 to 15 words you should use. If you want to do more, that is your choice. Don't intellectually think too much about yourselves. What comes to your mind when you think about yourself? Those are the words first you should think of. After that, you think if you want. And be honest when you write. We have half a minute more. All right, time up. You can continue this exercise even after this session is over. It's a very nice exercise to do. Anyway, when you are asked in the interview, describe yourself, tell them us something about yourself, you should have that clarity. So anybody would like to share top 3 words which describe you? You can raise your hand and unmute and speak. Start, come on. Anyone? I told you the success of this will depend on your interaction.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Yes, please start.
I'm optimistic, easygoing, and spiritual.
Good. Optimistic, easygoing, spiritual, great. Anyone else?
Priyam Swamiji, I'm Katyani. I am creative, open-minded and introverted.
Hariom Swamiji, I am inquisitive, distracted at some times, and affectionate.
Distracted, affectionate, and what was the first one?
Inquisitive.
Inquisitive, distracted. Yeah. Then Swanta had raised one. Swanta had unmuted.
Yeah. I am cheerful, reliable, and dedicated.
Repeat. You have to unmute and say. Okay. Anyone else? Yes, Gautam.
Hariom Swamiji, I am patient, indecisive, and punctual.
Patient, indecisive. Okay, great. So glad that some of you would share what you have written down. Now what we have to do with this is, what you have written down, in that, first do the classification, how many are positive and how many are negative words. Count them and just write the number. Just the quantity I want, number. Suppose you have written 15 words, out of that, let us say 10 are positive, 5 are negative. If you have not written any negative, all 15 are positive, then there's like 15 positive, 0 negative.
Swamiji, what if we feel that, say, fearless? If we feel we are fearless, but not at all times. You're not.
Absolute, that 100% all the time one has to be fearless. Then, in general, I am fearless.
Hariom Swamiji, in certain positions your mic is not audible, Swamiji. So we could not hear what you said right now.
Oh, I'm not using this mic, that's why. Sorry. Is my audio clear now?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. Much better.
Yes, you have to mark it as a positive quality, because there may be some occasions of fear in everyone's life, but in general one is fearless. Then it's a positive quality. One has to mark it that way. So the point to understand is, Prasanna, you have a question?
No, I just wanted to say I wrote 14 positive and 1 negative.
Okay, great. Anyone else wants to share? See, introvert and extrovert is not, you can't say that extrovert is a negative quality and introvert is a positive quality. Both of them will be positive only. If you are extrovert in the sense that if one is not sensitive enough to other people, then that becomes a negative quality, but otherwise both are positives only. There is no problem. The reason why we are doing this exercise in terms of positive and negative is, yes, Amay has said 6 positive, 4 negative. One very important point about discovering one's inner calling is, what is my self-talk? the more positive is my self-talk. Self-talk means what I think about myself. The conversation that I have about myself in my head. Some people have very nice positive self-talk. I am happy, I'm positive, my life is well, I have great friends, I have a good body or a good physique, and I'm very bright in studies, or I can do this, I can do that. So they have a nice positive self-talk. Some people have a very negative self-talk. So they keep criticizing themselves. I'm not good enough, I'm not great, I can't do this, I'm not very friendly, not too many people love me. So the negative self-talk, the more negative self-talk is, the more difficult it becomes to identify what is my calling, because my focus is on the negative. To explore one's inner calling, one must have a positive self-talk. That is a very important aspect. How to develop that is a very different topic altogether, but at least I should become aware of what is my self-talk. So that is the first exercise to be done in discovering one's inner calling. Now, we will see as we go along some more exercises with this first thing that you have done, written down the words. So keep those with you intact. So when we describe ourselves, the positive self-talk is important. That is one. Second aspect is to understand in another way of classification, how many words describe me at a body level, how many describe me at an emotional level, and how many describe me at an intellectual level. That also shows to me that where is my focus more? Is my focus more on the body? Is it more on the emotions? Is it more on the thought process, logic, reasoning, cultivating skills? Where is it on? So take half a minute and classify. Out of 15 words, 5 are for body, 3 are for emotion, 7 are for intellect, whatever division may be. And please remember, this is just a very broad way to understand. This is not a psychometric tool or a spiritually tested research-based tool. This is our reflection about ourselves. And there's nothing wrong if you have more words for the body or the mind or the intellect. There's nothing, nobody is greater or lesser because of that. Each one's focus is on different aspects and each one can grow from there. So I'm glad that a lot of you who have shared here, you have written more positives and less negatives here. So that is great. Anybody wants to share the division of body, emotions, thoughts? Yes, Shiv, go ahead.
Swamiji, 0 for body, 7 for mind, and 8 for intellect.
All right, great. I'm sure body you must be focusing some part, but as of now you have not written on that. That's all right. Kavya says 3 for body, mind 6, intellect 11. See that division, how nice. So that makes us aware of where our focus is. And that focus can change at certain points in time. Someone says dominantly physical, yes. As I said, there's nothing right or wrong about this. Prasanna, go ahead.
I just had a doubt, like I'm not being able to segregate mind and intellect as such. Like,
mind is predominantly emotion. So give me one word, I will tell you.
Like affectionate.
Affection is emotion, no? So it comes under mind. So mind is predominance of emotions. Intellect is more of rational thoughts, value systems, logical goals, certain ideas that I have about, ideals that I have. Those are all intellect. And not that they are completely separate, but they are just one way of understanding. Kalidas, all 9 for the mind. Okay. Katyayani, 6 for intellect, 8 for emotions, 0 for body. Wonderful. So keep this with you. Do you want to share something?
Swamiji, bold, strong, what will they fall under?
So it depends on which level what they mean to you. Bold and strong can be at body level also. Bold and strong can be at emotion level also. So it depends
So
on.
they will fall under mind and not intellect. If
It
not
can
from body.
It can fall even under intellect, because somebody can be bold in taking risk. Somebody can be strong in intellectually countering some false rumors, propaganda, vested interest. So it depends on what the words mean to you. So you have to classify accordingly. So now, see, the idea here is this: to understand ourselves from different standpoints. First is positive, negative. Second is in terms of our attention. Where is our attention on? The law of the mind is this: what we focus on, that will flourish. And so the more we introspect, the more we understand about ourselves, the more easier it is to discover our calling. So the logic is this: our view of ourselves will determine our view of life, and that will influence my way of living. So if I view myself as a very positive person, a very emotion-oriented person, a sensitive person, a caring person, then my view of life will be also accordingly influenced. That for me, emotions are more important, so I will take care in relationships. Or for somebody, body is more important, then one will focus more on the physique aspect. One will help others also at that level. Or somebody, for them, intellect is much more dominant, then one works at that level. So my view of myself, if I think of myself that people don't love me enough, then my view of life is that I need people to love me more and more. So my focus will be on getting more love. If I feel I am loved and I can go out and give love, then my view of life will be like that I will go out, share love, give love, and accordingly my way of life will change. So Gurudev used to say this, that our view of life determines our way of life. Now, what exactly is Swadharma? We will come to this now. So, is it any of these? Is Swadharma a mindset? Is it talent? Suppose I can sing well, dance well, I can speak well, or I can, like today people say I'm an influencer, or I am a copywriter. So, does that mean that is my Swadharma? Does it mean my duty? Is it certain needs that I have? I need money, I need love, I need knowledge, I need a good home, I need friends. Is it my culture? Is it my passion? What I really passionately feel about? Or dharma word, sometimes people say religion. So Swadharma means is my religion or my duty to serve. What is Swadharma? Is it any of these, or is it none of these, or is it a combination of some of these? You are welcome to share your ideas. Think about this.
Swamiji, I believe it's a combination of all of these.
All of these. Okay. That is possible. It's combination of all of these also is possible. Now, suppose you have to choose any 3 to determine your Swadharma. Which 3 will you choose?
Hari Om Swamiji. I'll be choosing one's duty, one's culture, and duty to serve.
Wonderful. One's duty, one's culture, and the duty to serve. Right. Good.
Swamiji, I would choose talent, duty, and passion.
Talent, duty, passion. Wonderful.
Hariom Swamiji, I think I would choose one's duty, passion, and duty to serve.
Duty, passion, duty to serve. Right.
Hariom Swamiji, I would choose one's mindset, passion, and duty to serve.
Wonderful.
Hariom Swamiji, I would choose one's duty, one's culture, and one's religion, provided that religion is the Sanatana Dharma.
Okay. So there's different permutations, combinations different people can make according to their choices, preferences, and I'm glad many of you are sharing different things on the chat also. What we have done is to, as I said, we are focusing right now on figuring out what is my calling in terms of a career choice, because a lot of people want to know that, because there's a lot of confusion about that. And so we have chosen a few aspects of these. Not that other aspects are not required or unimportant, they are also important, but in figuring out what I should choose in terms of my profession or in terms of understanding myself, so that even in relationships I can become effective, we are choosing a few of these to make the understanding more easy. So what is Swadharma? It's a meeting point between these 5 things. What is the temperament? By temperament, we mean the mindset. What is the temperament? What is passion? What is the need? What is talent? What is service? If these 5 are taken care of, it will also take care of some of the other aspects like duty to serve and the culture and those aspects. Temperament, passion, need, talent, and service. A combination of these 5 can help us to understand what is Swadharma, what is the inner calling. So Swadharma is, what happened to this? Give me a minute. This slide has some issue. It is acting in Paradharma. It is not in Swadharma. So Swadharma means action based on your unique temperament or mindset based on the 3 mental modes as per the spiritual understanding. All our minds are classified as a combination of 3 moods. We will see what they are. Many of you may be aware, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So in spiritual science, the Swadharma of a person is determined based on a combination of these 3, which will influence the rest of the things, the talent, the service, the duty, etc. Like Arjun's temperament is predominantly a Rajasic temperament, so he is a Kshatriya, and now his duty is to protect Dharma in the battle of Mahabharata. So it is predominance of that particular mindset, that temperament, that mood, as well as what is his passion, what is his, the need, what is his duty. Some of those things will come together. So first thing is the first criteria, the main criteria is the mindset or the mental moods. If you have to choose of all the characteristics, earlier you chose 3, but if you have to choose 1, then it has to be the mindset, because the temperament and mindset will determine everything. And so Gurudev's quote it is, to act according to one's taste, inborn and natural, is the only method of living in peace and joy, in success and satisfaction. So we should find out what is that inner calling, what is our temperament, and it is not that we can't change it, we can change. Like earlier, some people expressed that these negatives and these positives. Now we can change the negative into positive. It is possible. Suppose we say Tamo Guna is more in me, then we can change from Tamas to Rajas. There is no doubt. But we have to understand first our predominance. What is the temperament which is predominating? And as we spoke earlier, it is not limited to a job or a career. It expresses in every aspect of our behavior. Now, coming back to the earlier format. So we will explore these 5 things. Which are these 5? Temperament, passion, need, talent, and service. A combination of these 5 is what we are going to explore. So first point is the temperament. What is the temperament? So one question has come, what is the difference between one's dharma and one's swadharma? So dharma is a broad category. Swadharma comes in a specific context. So dharma means I have duty. Dharma in one word means duty. In one meaning means duty. So I have duty towards myself, I have duty towards my country, my community, my family, my profession, my company. I have a duty towards so many. That is my bounden duty based on the role that I am playing. And Swadharma will mean, see, suppose I give example, 2 people, 2 brothers you are, let us say. Now both the brothers have a duty towards the family. That is their dharma. But each brother will express their duty as per their swadharma. So one brother may serve the family by becoming an artist. Some other brother may serve the family by becoming, let us say, an engineer. Now that is their swadharma. One brother is very introverted, so remains by oneself and does more of thinking, more of contemplating, and is not very social. So we'll do what basic interaction with the family, etc., but doesn't go too much into it. Other brother is more of an extrovert, so we'll do much more interaction. So each one is doing their duty, expressing their duty based on their swadharma. So there is a connection between dharma and swadharma. The more I do my duties anchored in my swadharma, the better it is for me. Somebody, the introvert is trying to do imitation of the other brother, then that is called paradharma. It is not natural for this person. So this person is now trying to just copy, just because the other brother is doing, I am also going to do. Now that is paradharma for this brother. So that's why it is better to do my dharma, my duty based on my swadharma. The word dharma, as I said, one meaning is duty. The word dharma has many other meanings. So if we say dharma is my religion, then that is the dharma that each one is following based on whatever is their background, whatever is the environment around them, what they have chosen to follow. But that choice should be again done based on your swadharma. What comes to you naturally, what values resonate with you. Dharma has lots of ideas. Which aspect resonates with you, then that is your swadharma. Like some people are devotion oriented, so they can follow that path. Some people are action oriented, so they will do karma yoga. Some people are intellectual oriented predominantly, so they will follow jnana path. So based on swadharma, again I can choose in my religion also. So that's why this swadharma has a lot of implication. Every aspect of life, if I do based on my swadharma, I will be most happy. I hope now that is clear, dharma and swadharma in this context. Now coming back to this, the temperament. There are 3 modes of the mind, or the 3 gunas. They are called sattva, rajas and tamas. Predominantly, these are the qualities of sattva, rajas and tamas. Inspiration, knowledge, peace, balance, all those are qualities of sattva. Dynamism, achievement, attachment, these are qualities of rajas. And ignorance, inertia, these are qualities of tamas. Some more detailed characteristics I'm just going to share here. Now, based on these 3 gunas, the 15 words that you wrote, you can classify even those 15 words based on these. That of these 15, how many are sattvic, how many are rajasic, how many are tamasic. That will also help to understand my predominant temperament. See, this exercise you can do aram se even when you are having some free time, because at the moment you may not have thought so much. But once you do this properly, it will give a lot of insight into the mindset. So these are qualities of sattva, rajas and tamas, and all of us are a combination of sattva, rajas and tamas. And we should remember that all the three gunas we require. In the Gita 14th chapter, the description of this comes. So anybody wants to study more, you can refer to the 14th chapter of the Gita. So all the three gunas we require. Don't think that tamo guna is bad, so I don't need. Inertia is very important. Swamiji, that I know, I'm most of the time in that state only. Inertia is important because without tamo guna, sleep will not come. I can't sleep at all. Rajoguna also is important because without rajas, activity cannot happen. Dynamism is not there, achievement cannot happen. And sattva guna is also important. Balance, harmony, positivity, all that. Now, what is predominant in me in terms of the gunas, that I should first find out. In the earlier system, that is what was being done. Like how today people have aptitude test. Earlier, when people used to go to the Gurukul, they used to have this. The Guru would ensure that the disciple comes to understand this, that what is my predominant temperament, sattva, rajas, tamas, and based on that, the choices are also made. So if I have tamas in terms of, let us say, depression or dullness, then I need to overcome that. But if I have inertia, I have sleep, I need to sleep, then that tamas is not bad. It is necessary. If I have activity of rajas, I have excitement, I have desire, passion, no problem. But if I have ego, anxiety, agitation, then that has to be overcome. Same way in sattva guna, all these are positive qualities of sattva guna. But if I get attached to some of these, like I have the ego of intelligence, that I am more intelligent than anybody else, then that is a quality which I have to overcome. I should be flexible. I can't be rigid because I am intelligent. I should be able to understand. I should be able to express with sensitivity. So a combination of sattva, rajas and tamas is what each of us are. And what we have to focus on is the necessary aspect of sattva, rajas and tamas. In that, what is my combination? If there is some aspect of my sattva, rajas and tamas which is harmful to me, that I have to overcome. Based on both these, I can understand my Swadharma. Like somebody is very having a lot of depression. Now that person should not meditate. That person should take up service, take up activity, go out and serve, have a goal, act, achieve, set timelines, set deadlines and work towards it, because that person needs dynamism. Because as of now, this person is in a dull mood. From tamas, you have to come to rajas. Same way, if somebody is doing great work, very successful, but they also have a lot of stress, then they have to move from that rajoguna to sattva guna, so that they can be successful and yet be happy. So each of us, the combination of the gunas, we will keep evolving. What is the predominant guna? Based on that is our temperament. Like somebody is very sattvic person predominantly, then one's responses will be like that. With people also, one will be balanced, one will be positive, one's language will be loving, one has a certain openness, one is not judging people. So that is predominant of sattva guna. Careers also that they choose will be like that. More of knowledge oriented, research oriented, creativity, writing, expressing in terms of whatever, it may be poems, maybe plays, maybe acting. So different things can be there where sattva guna will manifest predominantly. If rajoguna is very, very predominant, then it will be rajas, it will be some leadership qualities, certain protective aspects like army, entrepreneurship, investments. Please remember, each one requires the other also. Like rajoguna will require sattva also. Don't say investment doesn't require knowledge. It requires knowledge. But the person is having a lot of risk-taking ability. and the person is ready to take calculated risk. Now that is Rajoguna quality. And one wants to achieve great success, become popular, have abundance, wealth, all that. Same way, if somebody is very intellectually dull, but physically that they are able to do a lot of activity, then they should choose professions according to that, which will be more physically intense. So maybe they become trainers, or they become sportsmen, or any such category where physically they have to be much more active, where they don't have to use a lot of thinking capability, but they have to train themselves at a skill level. So combination of these three and predominance of certain things will determine what is our calling, what is our Swadharma. Here is a very nice video of Puja Gurudev on explaining these three gunas and their combination. With a nice example, he explains.
Nobody in the world or living being who has not got the gunas. All the three gunas are in everyone. A professional murderer and a wretched man, evil-minded man, even he has got sattvic moods. Even the greatest saint and sage has moments of tamas and rajas. All the three put together is called the human personality. Never can there be only one. Coffee means three things: decoction, milk and sugar. Three things mixed together is normal coffee, not American coffee. American coffee is anything they put there, some black powder, and keep on burning, boiling till evening, and take it a little. What are you doing? Coffee. That is the tragedy of this country. Never mind. Real coffee is made artistically by mixing these three, and then you take coffee. Now, right. Now, even though this coffee contains only three things, if you on a Saturday or Sunday visit 4 or 5 friends, Hindu friends, Indian friends, when you visit, whatever be the time or the day, they will not allow you to go out without coffee. Come on, let us have a little coffee. No, I don't want it. I just now had, never mind. I just now had food. Good. Digestion, coffee is good. No, I have just now go and take food. Very good. Is a appetizer. You won't be allowed to go without taking coffee. You go in 4 or 5 places, take coffee. Every coffee contains the three, but no 2 coffees are the same. Go to a South Indian coffee. The coffee is coffee, but it's all decoction. Milk pot and sugar pot have been brought around it, not inside it. That is called the South Indian coffee. Gujarati, go there. Ayya. The sugar dabba when you was putting, it just gone falling. Sugar, oh sugar. Punjabi coffee. A cup or glass of milk and 1 drop of coffee, one end, and sugar. And that coffee, they won't shake it because it may spread, and then take that milk only. Coffee is only a witness that I am here. Meaning, the proportion of one to the other give different tastes. In the same way, these three gunas are in every one of you, but the preponderance of one over the other gives the various tastes, the various performances, various perfume of your personality. Now let us have some music.
Okay, so that is Gurudev explaining with this beautiful example that all of us have this combination. So we have to find out what is my predominant guna of the three, and based on that, what kind of responses should I give in all my transactions with the world, including my choice of a career. So that is first aspect, which is temperament. This is one way to understand the mindset. The scriptural way is this, to understand which guna I have. Oscar Wilde said very nicely, be yourself, everyone is already taken. So the idea of understanding this is we should be who we are, not try to just imitate somebody. Now, sometimes it may not be very easy to understand what I really like doing or what is my Swadharma. So the first step was temperament. Second step is talent. Explore the talents. There's a very nice quote which says, survey wide fields, but cultivate small ones. So I may have to explore many different fields. So take up various classes, courses, join different clubs in the schools, colleges. They have different clubs, environment club and whatever, scouts and guides and singing club, dancing club, so many clubs they have. So one has to explore. Sometimes we may not be aware till we start exploring. Our mind may think certain things that I'm good at this or I'm not good at this, but till we don't explore, sometimes we don't know. So in case I'm very clear, then there is no issue. But in case I'm not clear, then I should definitely explore, because there's a lot to learn. And also then one can become clear that this is for me, this is not for me. So that exploring of talent. So here are just few examples. This is not a comprehensive list, but one can explore singing, dancing, sports, whistling, reading, playing musical instruments, acting, art, so many. There are lots of options which are there. If one may not explore all, but let us say one chooses these 5, these 10, I will explore. My father used to send me every vacation. A lot of our relatives and my cousins, etc., they used to have a good time, they used to travel, etc. But my father used to send me specifically for different courses. So different things, horse riding and karate and this swimming and chess playing and so many things he made me go through, yoga and lots of that. So from there I could understand, oh, this is what I am good at, this is what I am not good at. It was easy to explore and understand. So one has to explore. Exploring is one very important aspect to understand, not only in terms of choosing career, but even in terms of understanding my values, my emotions, what invokes what in me. Do I have fear in me? Now, how will I know whether I have fear in me? I may think I am very fearless. Until I go up and do, let us say, bungee jumping, I will not know do I have fear or I don't have fear. So like that, there are many things which we will come to know about ourselves, our values, our emotions, both positive and negative, when we explore different things. Today one very good thing is that lots of opportunities are available to explore. And even today, some parents have become more open-minded, that they allow they let the children explore and then choose what they really want to do in their life, rather than imposing their thought process that you have to become only a doctor or an engineer or a management consultant or an IT professional. Earlier there used to be these 3-4 main things. Even today there are lots of people who think that way, but one is becoming more open. The society is becoming more open, and nobody had ever thought that YouTuber will be a career, or a content writer would be a career, or an influencer would be a career. Earlier people used to say, "Arey kya pura din phone pe baitha rehta hai?" But today that is the way the work is happening. That is a profession, a full-fledged profession it is. So one has to explore the talents. That is the second aspect. While exploring the talents, one has to observe and also ask other people. Certain times we know certain talents we have, but we may not know that we have other talents. But people who are around us, our friends, relatives, family, they can tell us that what are my talents, what do you think are my greatest strengths? Ask them. It is said there's a Johari window, there's a very popular concept where There are certain things that I know about myself and others don't know. There are certain things that others know about myself, but I don't know. There are certain things that neither I know nor others know. In time, those things will manifest. Then there are certain things which both I also know, others also know. So these are the 4 quadrants. In that, the second quadrant, what I don't know but others know, is one very important part, because sometimes we have no idea, but others can identify. Like, the example is a famous example. If I have to give you, it is Sachin Tendulkar. Do you know how did Tendulkar start his cricketing career? He started as a bowler and he joined this Dennis Lilly Academy. And Dennis Lilly Academy in Chennai, he was training himself for a bowler. But Dennis Lilly observed him, and Dennis Lilly said, you will excel more when you become a batsman. And it is Dennis Lilly who guided him, and Tendulkar shifted from a bowler to a batsman predominantly. And look at what success he achieved. He had thought he wants to be a bowler, and it was clear to him, I want to be a bowler, and he was training himself for being a bowler. But Dennis Lilly could easily identify, no, he will excel when he takes up batting. And of course, his skill as a bowler, all of us know how much he has done for the country. Even as a bowler, took so many wickets. But mainly he succeeded because he shifted from bowler to being a batsman. So when we explore talents, we should also ask people sometimes that what do you think are my greatest strengths? What are my talents? Because sometimes we may not know at all, but they will know. And when we are exploring, we should observe ourselves. Okay, what interests me? Suppose 10 fields I'm exploring, what interests me? What am I really good at? What I can do better than most people, where I'm excelling in that quality. The example that I gave you. What are my greatest strengths? I should find out that. So based on my understanding plus the understanding of others, one can come to a certain clarity. So this is about the second aspect, where we must explore the talents. Now I come to the very important aspect, which is passion. The third aspect is passion. Now, to discover our passion, what really we feel for, we have to ask certain right questions. These questions, they will help to understand ourselves better, and they will also help us to overcome certain conditionings and pressures. For example, many times our choices are based on, oh, how will people perceive me? If I do this, how will my friends talk about me? Oh, all my friends are taking science, but I am choosing arts, and arts, the dullest students, they choose arts. So I don't want to choose arts. So all of them are going for science. I will also go for science. Now, if I ask certain questions, this will become very clear to me, no, I should not fall for this. So there are conditionings and pressures we come under. Peer pressure, it can be financial pressure in the family, or it can be the family's pressure only कि आज तक हमारे खानदान में कोई डॉक्टर पैदा नहीं हुआ, तुमको डॉक्टर ही बनना पड़ेगा. In that movie it comes in the 3 Idiots, when the child is born, they put a thappa on that child. So it can be any such pressures. But we should know what we are made for. So we have to ask those right questions and not come under the conditionings and pressures. It will give us proper perspective when we answer these questions correctly, and they will help us to get in touch with our innermost thoughts and feelings. A lot of us live at the surface level many times. So we are not in touch with our emotions and feelings. When we ask these questions and think, understand ourselves better, then we get in touch with these emotions and feelings. And the decisions which are taken based on that, they will be proper decisions. Many times the decisions are taken based on only some surface level understanding. So we should go deep within ourselves. And they will also help us to consider all different perspectives and come to a balanced decision rather than an impulsive one. So now what are these questions to ask? So one by one we will come. So what I'm going to do here is there are quite a few questions. I'm going to share some of these questions here. We will take up each question. If any of you want to share some answers, you are welcome to share. If you feel some of these questions are important, you note them down and think about it at a later point in time, because these questions are the main aspect. They will only help us to discover the inner calling. So what are these questions now? So to discover our passion, they are not in any particular sequence, okay? They have just put the questions. If I could do whatever I wanted to do, where imagine there are no obstacles, restraining factors, or possibility of failure, what would I choose to do with my life? Many times we don't take up some things because of fear of failure or because of some obstacles. We think, no, this can't be done. We first think of what can't be done and our choices, and we start negating all possibilities based on what can't be done. It should actually be the exactly opposite. What can be done is what I should think first. So if I put aside all those conditionings about fears about obstacles, failures, any other restraining factors like I don't have enough money, or what will the society say? If I put aside all those and I ask myself, what would I choose to do with my life? That can be a question I can ask. Anybody wants to share anything on this? Maybe some of you have already decided certain things, or you are doing already certain things based on this. Then you are welcome to share. Kshitija says, I travel a lot. Wonderful. So putting aside all the other factors, if that is what you are passionate about, then that is great, to travel a lot. Yes. Second question, if money were no obstacle, what would I spend my time doing? A lot of time, money determines our career. People say this is the in thing. Isme tumhara salary package itna ho jayega. You become a, what is that? You become an IIT and IIM graduate, and then your pay package will be this many crores per year. But am I really made for that IIT and IIM, and do I really want to do that? One studies so much. I know some people who had done this. They went into some deep level of research and whatnot. Study, and post-graduation and all that, scientific research and all that. But then one found that there is not enough money in that, and the interest was getting lost. And now the person is doing photography. One has studied in such big universities abroad and everywhere, but today the person is entirely doing opposite, photography. It's one thing is good that the person shifted, because that also needs a lot of guts, to shift completely like this. But the other question is that why, what was the motivating factor at that point in time? One may have felt that there's a lot of money or prestige or certain recognition or a certain eliteness about this. So one chose that, possibly. So we should ask, if money is not an obstacle, what would I spend my time doing? That is the second question. Third, what are the things that fill me with joy and a sense of purpose? That when I'm doing that, I feel very happy. A person who is made for, let us say, dance, who is very happy in doing dance. If somebody says, I'll give you, 10 lakh rupees, but you should never dance. That person says, you keep your 10 lakh with you, but I will dance. Because the joy of dancing is something else only. You can't tell me I cannot do this. So what is that which fills me with joy and a sense of purpose? Don't say, Swamiji, I eat lots of sweets and jalebi and pakoda, that fills me with lot of joy. That is sense pleasure, no problem. Eat. But here we are speaking about a certain deep sense of satisfaction, emotional joy, a sense of accomplishment, purpose. And that is something very close to my heart. Then I know. Yes, Dharini says, making others happy and seva fills me with sense of purpose and joy. Wonderful. What are the things that I do effortlessly and lose the sense of time? This is where that talent is matching this passion, and the time I have lost the sense of. Sometimes hours will pass and this person has just got so absorbed in doing. Like, it is said about Albert Einstein, he was so absorbed in his scientific research, he would lose sense of time. Somebody asked him, he was walking on the road, coming, from the laboratories, he was walking. So they asked him, did you have lunch? You know what Einstein replied? He said, if I'm going towards my house, I have not had lunch. If I'm coming away from my house, I had lunch. He just did not even know whether he had lunch. He didn't have, his mind is so absorbed in that. So what is that where I do it effortlessly and lose the sense of time? Some of these musicians, how they practice, they get so absorbed in that music. Anybody who loves what they are doing, they will be absorbed in that. Some meditators, some sadhus, yogis, if they ask, if somebody asks us, how long can you meditate? We can say 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And some of these sadhus, 6 hours, 8 hours, they are sitting in meditation, absorbed. Because it is coming to them very effortlessly. Amay says, Sanskrit grammarian, I would lose my sense of time. Wonderful. So Sanskrit can be so absorbing, where one loses the sense of time. What activities have I done, am doing or will be doing which make me like myself? This is one important factor. Because many times when we do certain things, we do for other people, but we don't feel good about it. So I should identify both. What are the activities that I'm doing where I don't feel good about myself, where I'm doing out of certain external compulsion, or I'm doing it to please somebody, but I'm not very happy with that. Sometimes there is an adjustment one has made, that's a different matter. I'm not talking about that. But we are talking about the main big choices of life. Like in the 3 Idiots, that example which comes, that I forget the name of Madhavan in that, Farhan, I think is his name. He wants to become a photographer, but this father wants him to become an engineer only. Now he is doing engineering, but he is not very happy. He doesn't like himself for that. But this person, when he becomes a photographer, he excels in that, plus he loves himself also. So our choices must be such that they don't make us hate ourselves or condemn ourselves or dislike ourselves, make us not feel good about ourselves. They should make us feel happy and good about ourselves. Then that is my passion, that is my core. What are the things I really enjoy and never get bored of doing? Again, that is my passion. For somebody, Sanskrit grammar can be very boring, but Amay says he really enjoys it, so he never gets bored of it. So what is that which, sometimes we feel I'm good at this also, this also, this also. At those times, I should ask some of these questions. Suppose I'm good at 4 things. But if I have to make one choice, one of the questions will be what? That what do I really enjoy, I don't get bored of. That can help me to identify. Out of 4, I may be able to come down to 2 and then maybe to 1. So what is that? What are the things that I really enjoy and never get bored of doing? Saturation point in terms of time one may reach, because mind has certain limited capabilities. But then one takes little rest and again comes back to it, one continues. So then that is one's passion. Like if I have to say Dr. Abdul Kalam, he loved the youth like anything. For him, interacting with the youth, empowering the youth of the country is a very deep passion. 2003, we did this Awakening Indians to India, one national quiz competition to inspire young people to understand the glory of the India of past, present, and what can be our vision for the future. So to inspire them, inspire the youth with being proud of the country. So we brought a nice book, 500-page book, Awakening Indians to India. Now we went to meet the president, and he had given us an appointment at some 7 o'clock or something, let us say tomorrow. But some emergency happened and he had to leave Chennai the next day. So he preponed the meeting to today. And you know what time he met us? He met us at 11:30 in the night. And we thought he will give 10 minutes because 11:30, but he was sitting with us for half an hour, understanding about the project, asking various questions, and seeing about, he saw that book also, and he sent a nice forward message also for that book. And that time he said, my goal is to personally meet 1 lakh youngsters and to inspire them about the country, not in masses. Mass gathering, so he addresses in lots of places, but he says 1 lakh youth I will meet personally and address the youth and talk to them about the country. And he had 2 more meetings after our meeting. That is his commitment to the country, and that is commitment for the youth. So he never got bored of doing that. And so many times he kept, everywhere he went, he kept making the youth take a pledge. He had written a nice pledge for the youngsters to take, and how to make India a developed country by 2020, a beautiful pledge. And he would make people take that pledge again and again. So that is passion, where one doesn't get bored of doing that. What action or job would I be happy doing for the rest of my life, regardless of what I am paid or appreciated or popular for? Today, lots of people keep switching their jobs very fast. One is for money reasons, which each one may have their needs, but sometimes because one has not yet found one's passion. Look at some of the great people, like Lata Mangeshkar has devoted her life for singing. Some sportsmen have devoted their life for sports. So any deeper achievement, lasting impact, meaningful contribution that one wants to do will come when there is single pointedness and deep and a long-term commitment. I'm not saying we should never change careers, one can, but one should find out, am I happy doing this for the rest of my life? Same thing when you choose a friend, somebody who becomes your close friend, or someone with whom you want to spend your rest of the life. One should ask that question: would I be happy spending the rest of my life? Romantically they say, I want to grow old with you. I want to have a family and raise the children with you and spend the sunset years with you, all that. So is this the person with whom I want to spend? What is that where the work itself is the reward? Where I don't bother whether somebody praised, did not praise, how many likes I got, how many followers I have, what kind of comments people passed. Where I just love the work for its sake. The Gita Bhagavan calls this as one very important aspect of Karma Yoga. Do love the work for the sake of the work. Results will anyway come. But the reward is the work itself. Even Mahendra Singh Dhoni, so many times he says that, live in the moment, focus on the process, results will take care of themselves. When they ask him, how do you remain so cool and calm? He said, because I focus on the process. Results will take care of themselves. So what is it where the work itself is the reward? What inspires me the most? It may be some values, it may be service, it may be emotions, it may be anything. What inspires me the most? Looking at the smiles on the faces of people, whatever it can be, so many things can inspire. Creativity, nature, many things can inspire. So what inspires me the most? There are maybe 10 things which inspires me, but this one thing inspires me the most. This is one exercise you can do now. Take half a minute or so and do this. Who are the 3 people who inspire me the most? Ask yourself. And when you are ready, anybody, you can share. 3 people who inspire me the most. Ask yourself that. If anybody is ready, you want to share, you can unmute and share.
Swamiji, it can be any renowned personality as well, right? Like someone.
Anybody, renowned, not renowned, anyone. Anyone who has not yet answered, if they would like to share, it would be nice. Others are also welcome to share, but anybody. Share at least one name and why they inspire you the most. Quickly, our time is running out. Okay, Dharini says, Lord Krishna, Subhash Chandra Bose, Tapan Bhaiya. Seeing his energy motivates me. Wonderful. So what inspires you in Subhash Chandra Bose the most?
His dynamism to do stuff, like he went outside India and did so much.
Right. Dynamism to achieve so much outside the country in such difficult circumstances. Right. Amrita says one of them is Lord Krishna, imbibe qualities from the Gita. Ame says Panini, the author of Ashtadhyayi. Wonderful. So what our role models do, what the people who inspire us the most, why they inspire us, when we understand, those are some of the values in them or their achievements, their interactions, they resonate with us. When they inspire us the most, that means these are things which we really value. They are which we closely hold, which we hold close to our heart. So this is important. It need not be always renowned people, but it can be even simple people. But this particular quality resonates maximum with me. That shows to me that this is what I also value much. So this is one question that you can ask. One thing important in this is always be yourself, express yourself, have faith in yourself. Don't go out and look for a successful personality and duplicate. There's a difference between imitation and admiration. In imitation, we blindly duplicate. In admiration, there is a certain admiration of qualities which we learn to imbibe, which resonates with us. We are not blindly duplicating. We don't want to become like somebody just because they are doing that. Initially, sometimes it happens when we do hero worship, this happens. We'll try to look like that person, talk like that person, walk like that person, which is fine at some point in time in some level of understanding and evolution. But what is important is what really resonates with me, that I should imbibe and adapt it to myself and then live accordingly. So admiration is important, not mere blind imitation. Some more questions to discover a passion are, is there something I wanted to do always but haven't got around to doing it? If so, what is it? Because sometimes what happens, because of various reasons, we have it in our mind that I really want to do this, but it may not have been possible. Sometimes it can be a great career choice. Sometimes it can be certain things like hobbies or even talents, which one has, but one has never expressed. Like some people really want to write books, but they don't find time to write, or there is some other block they have not written. Or some people really want to travel, but they are not able to travel. Maybe their hectic lifestyle is such, or they have a lot of other commitments, they are not able to. So these things can help us to understand that what is close to me, but I have been postponing, or I have not been able to do for various other reasons. But this is important to me. When I'm 90, 90 is just a number, it can be any number. If someone said to me, so tell me your story, what would my story be? Suppose I have to tell my grandchildren, what would my story be? If I live as per my passion, then my story will be excellent, no matter what I achieve or I don't achieve. See, one thing is, success is not in the terms of how society appreciates it or accepts it. That is only one criteria. Success is really in living one's own Swadharma, doing things close to one's heart, being able to make a difference, contribute well. Success is all that. Whether one became successful from the worldly standpoint or not is not a very major criteria. A lot of people are able to become successful that way, but away from their Swadharma. Like a simple example for that is Andre Agassi. He was very successful from the worldly standpoint, became so successful, and when we were children, he had said a lot of fashion trends also in tennis. He used to wear the cap ulta, and he used to have one earring, and then he used to play, and he was a tennis icon for everyone. But if you read his autobiography, and he married Steffi Graf, she is also a great tennis achiever. But in his autobiography, he says he never liked tennis. He hates tennis from the bottom of his heart. Very successful, but not happy. Because the real passion, now somebody says, but what is wrong in that? We became successful. No, that is not true success. When one is hating that tennis all the time, for various reasons, one took up that tennis. The father was, and the family was in a financial debt. So they took up tennis. And sheer practice, he became a great star. But heart is not close to that. Then that is not a holistic success. Somebody who is doing what they really love and became successful in that, they are successful and happy. Their story is fabulous. And that's the example that one has to set. So ask oneself this question: what would my story be? Would my story be, but I could not do these things? The story should always be about I did what I could do, what I wanted to do, and I also was able to do what I didn't want to do. I mastered my mind and I could do it as my duty. Some things may be unpleasant, but I still do it. Then that's a great story. Now, this is one exercise again that you can do at certain times. What inspired me when I was 1 to 10 years old? Many times people think that, oh, children, they are very impractical. They don't know the harsh realities of the world, so they just imagine anything. But the best possible imaginations and goals which are set in the mind are in the childhood, because we don't have a lot of conditionings. Hanumanji leaping towards the sun, the symbolism is that think high. A child will think big naturally, because child is not thinking this obstacle, that obstacle, and this conditioning, and that society, and that friend, and this family. They are not bothered. Sometimes they'll think very ordinary, sometimes they'll think very big also. So what did I think between 1 to 10 years old, 11 to 16, and 16 to now? For each age group, you write differently. What did inspire you the most? And you may find some commonalities in that, because as we grow old, sometimes our real passions and what we really feel for gets put aside because of so many conditionings. If I do this exercise, and this is psychologically tested exercise, this one, the psychologists make people do this. You know, a lot of abuse also of the childhood makes the child very reactive, impulsive, violent, and same way the positives also. Especially the first 5 years, the formative years are very, very important. Now, just an example here. Okay, we'll have to go back to that slide there. Now, this is like one example for that exercise. What is your inspiration? So someone says, love Ramayana, Mahabharata shlokas in the childhood, love telling stories, creative with drawing, enjoyed playing. Just a few examples I've given here. Then 11 to 16, explored different fields, classes, loved sports, hated authority, loved being a rebel, prepared for competitive exams, loved computer programming. Above 16 years, loved Vedant, lives of great saints, did a project in biooptic computing, artificial intelligence, sharing what I learned and learn from others, moved by selfless service. These are different things inspiring at different times. Based on this, do you see anything which is common, and what can this person choose? Anyone wants to share? You are welcome. Is there something common in this?
More of a Jnana Yogi person.
More of a Jnana Yogi person. On what basis do you say that?
At all phases, they are practical and more of thinking involved.
Okay.
Swamiji,
Huh.
he or she could become a teacher.
Superb. Very nicely analyzed. So one is Jnana Yogi, one is a teacher. Anything else? So I'm coming to this now. See. So if you say used to love Ramayana, Mahabharata, shlokas, hated authority, loved being a rebel, loved Vedanta, sharing, selfless service, all these are showing very clearly that there's a deep spiritual urge either to take it up full time or to take it up in a major way in whatever one is doing. Or second could be this, like one of you said, teacher. Because love telling stories, sharing what I learned, moved by selfless service, you know. So like that one can choose that what is the common thread. If one comes to some of these answers, if one writes for all the 3 age groups, one may find a common thread. And when you find that common thread, then this will become very easy to identify this is really my passion and choose also based on that. So ensure that you can only become truly accomplished at something you love. So ensure that you do what you love. So don't make money your goal. Do what you love truly and do it so well that people also get amazed. Oh, how beautiful and how amazing is this. You know, Amitabh Bachchan, he was rejected by people for acting. He said, you are too tall. And so many of his actors who were contemporaries, today they are nowhere, but he's still doing. And how he has maintained his fitness and how he does his exercises and how he is, adapted himself to various age related changes and roles, etc. is so amazing. One would just admire, oh, what a great actor. So when we choose what we really love, that should be always our focus. Here is a video of someone who didn't give up their passion. Even with a great difficulty which came in their life, a great setback, that person didn't give up the passion. That kind of a commitment to one's passion one should have.
I was a painter. Everything in my eyes holds beauty. But after I became blind, do you think I can still paint?
See how nice, no? That journey is a lot of struggle, but didn't give up. That is the passion. Obstacles come, challenges come. Helen Keller also, we know how much she served with so many challenges. Lots of people like that. So our passion is that when we discover the passion, then it gives a lot of strength to us. Difficulties, challenges will come, but the passion is what keeps guiding, and one will learn. So that's why do what feels natural to you. Don't pretend or wear any masks. Especially in today's age where so much filters are there in everything in social media. And they have to put specially to say that photograph without filter. Otherwise, everything is so filtered. By itself, there's nothing wrong in it, but that should not happen psychologically, where we pretend and then we put on a false image and just to impress people. We don't need to do that. We should do what is natural to us, who we are. In trying to impress people, we don't have to lose who we are. And we don't have to conform and fit in. This fitting in concept is what ruins a lot of people's lives. Adjustment is a different thing. We should learn to adjust in life, be a little flexible, not very rigid. But fitting in is where I am not made for it, but I'm just trying to force myself in that. Will you ever fit yourself in a shoe which is one size less of yours? Will one ever do that? It will be very painful. Now imagine living lives years after years, living life where I'm trying to just fit in, not following what I am really made for, doing something else only completely. Not only as a profession, but even in personal life, in family life, where one is just trying to imitate, copy, be very unnatural, that will not work. And that's why in the Gita, there is a warning. In 3rd chapter, there is a beautiful warning there, where to Arjun Bhagwan says, Shreyan Swadharma Vigunaha Paradharma Svanushthitat. Better is one's own duty. In this context, Swadharma is duty, though devoid of merit, than duty of another well discharged. Like for an army soldier, and especially Arjun, he has to kill people and his own relatives. He feels very disturbed by that. But Bhagwan says, better it is to do that than you going away into the forest and living like a mendicant, because you are not made for that. Better is death in one's own Swadharma. The duty of another, Paradharma, is fraught with fear and dangerous. If Arjuna had become a monk, do you think he would be able to renounce and meditate? He would have died of guilt that my people, I left them and I am responsible for so much harm that happened. He would have not been able to meditate. Suppose there is a fish. Now, what is the natural habitat for the fish? It is water. If somebody says, no, milk is more wholesome food, milk is more costly, let us put this fish in milk. What will happen? That fish will die in that milk. So Paradharma is always fraught with fear. I should always ask myself, is this natural to me? Is this based on my inclination, temperament? Or am I just imitating and pretending? A very nice song I came across, which I'm going to share with you. Very beautiful song. Oh.
I just wanna be me. If I lose a few fringe people that don't love who I am, well, that's a good thing. I'm proud to be who I am, cause that's a good thing. I'm gonna be who I am, that's how I should think. I'd rather walk with the few that love me, the few that want me, for me and who I really am. Won't pretend to fit in just like the sheep and lambs. Pretend to be who I'm not, don't think I really can. Fit in, I'd rather fit out. No talk, I'd rather stick out. Work hard and let the enemy out. Take charge, putting the enemies down. I'm letting go of all inner doubt, cause we all know that with this life, there's only one shot, you can't live this twice. So I'm letting go of all resistance, cause there's nothing worse than living with a fake existence. Always being someone the world wants me to be. Always doing the things that others want to see. But that can't be me no more. That just can't be me, no. Now that fake me goes down the drain. I got my watch, it's time for change. And for those who are meant to be, follow me on this journey. I just wanna be myself, live a life trapped on a fiddle, yeah. I just wanna be myself, forever real, never being superficial, yeah. That makes it easy to be, and this I guarantee. To really live your life, you only get one shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot. To really live your life, you only get one shot. You only get one shot. What's worse than living a lie? I don't know. I guess living but not living a life. Yeah, that seems about right. Cause life's a gift. I don't wanna waste it. The real me, I'm gonna embrace it. I'm original, no copy and pasting. Feel it inside, we're all creative. I just wanna express myself. I'm not gonna oppress myself no longer. If the others don't like it, well, they are meant to walk with me no longer. But the ones that support, they build me stronger. Not like the ones that abort or leave. I wanna live this life fully. I'm gonna live this life as the truth. I'd much rather be myself than be another. I am who I am and I know there is no other. I'd much rather be myself than be another. Cause I'm one of one, after me there is no other. So I give hope to myself, I find strength in myself. Don't wanna be no one else, nah. You can't tell me that I'm less, I determine my own wealth, nah. I'm supporting myself, motivating myself, nah. So ask me who I wanna be. I just wanna be myself. Live a life trapped on a fiddle, yeah. I just wanna be myself, forever real, never being superficial, yeah. That makes it easy to be, and this I guarantee. To really live your life, you only get one shot. You only get one shot. You only get one shot. Make the shift, it's time to make that change. It's time to drive in your own lane. New book, time for a new page. New you even with the old name. Cause you gotta love yourself truly. Look deep inside for the inner beauty. And you really owe it to yourself. Cause no one will love you if you don't love yourself. Look, you're not a faker, you're a creator. Stand tall like skyscrapers, a risk taker. So don't worry about the haters, cause in a couple years they all rate ya. It's a major key, set yourself free. Get rid of any old mentality, cause you're stronger than you used to be. Take the stage, this is your new me.
I want to tell you this one thing. Be yourself. What does that mean? When you can look in the mirror and know exactly who you are and exactly what you are and appreciate that and love that, that's it. Be yourself. It's your identity. Nurture it. Because it really is the biggest blessing we have.
You only get one shot. You only get one shot.
You like it? Song is so good. This is a song, Be Yourself, featuring Jones 2.0 and Easy Mix. How nice. Now you can do that exercise. When you look in the mirror and know exactly who you are and what you are and you love it, then that's it. That's your identity. If you don't love, then ask what is it that you don't love. Then that can be improved upon. But who you are, that you should know very clearly. That then based on that, do the inner, the inner calling. Based on that, do all the choices. So 3 aspects we saw. One aspect is what was the first aspect we did? temperament. Second was the need. Third was the passion. Second was not the need. What was the second one? First was temperament. Second was talent. Third was passion. Now fourth is the need. What are the parents and many others concerned about is we may be having lot of, imaginations, visualizations, plans. So I will be a singer, I will be this, I will be that. But they also need to know the bottom line, will you be financially stable or not? How will we monetize this passion is very important. So the need, we have put down 5 questions for the need aspect. That how can I monetize my passion to earn the living? And today's world, you can monetize everything. It is possible to earn. Earlier days, the poets and the writers, etc., they used to be shown with one jhola and always poor and, not very appreciated. But today, it's not like that. It's just a need. And today with internet and online marketing and so many things, and you can make yourself, with so many startups and so many opportunities are there. One can put out to the world what one has and something unique. Monetization will happen. Just that one has to plan well for it. This is how I will monetize. And in that one should be very clear about the ways of monetizing. Suppose I love music. Now, not necessarily that I have to become always some big singer or a music composer. I can teach music also. That is one way to monetize, where I can teach, whether privately or in a school or a college or anywhere. I can start an institution, anything. I can release my own albums on the social media, whatever it can be. So there are lots of ways to monetize. Whichever is one's passion, based on that one should identify how will I monetize this? What kind of lifestyle will make me happy? See, every career comes with a certain lifestyle. Is that lifestyle happy? Is that lifestyle going to make me happy? That is another question that I should ask myself. I can create my own lifestyle based on that passion. That is also fine. It need not be that always there is stereotypical lifestyles for every profession. That's not necessary. But some professions have a certain price to pay. Like suppose I take up a job in a particular multinational company, then there is a certain hectic lifestyle. If I rise in the ladder, then there is a stress, then the work-life balance may become challenging. So I must become aware of that. That what is the lifestyle that will manifest when I take up this choice? And do I like that? Can I live by that? Third question is, can I work under someone or do I have a need to be independent? There are some people who can't work under people. They need to be by themselves only. Then they have to work on certain things which will help them to do that. What is the big need in my life, my family, and how can I help? So sometimes there is a need in the family. One has to contribute to the family's financial condition also. So what is the need? Sometimes it need not be financial condition. It can be something else. It can be emotions also. It can be that other people in the house are earning well, but there's nobody to be with the parents. Then I'm able to contribute that, and I balance my work and this accordingly. So what is the need? How will I be able to contribute to myself, to my family? Another question is, do I like to be steady or I'm okay with frequent changes? Like army job may come with frequent changes, or a government job. Some postings come with a lot of frequent changes. So then the settling is not very easy. One is in a city for 2 years and again change to some other city, then go to third city. Now, if I'm not ready for that, then I shouldn't opt for some of those options. So this fourth point is about the need. And the last point is about service. How best can I help and serve others? The more we are able to serve, the more higher goals we have, the more potential in us also manifests. What today in management they call think out of the box. Don't think only for I, me and mine, or think only for the money or the profit. Think how I can make a difference. Even in a company, is my product really making a difference to the society? fulfilling the need of a particular need of the customers, consumers. So how is it that through my products or my services, I'm able to make a difference around? That need is there in every one of us, in every organization also. If we are able to have this service aspect, it will give much more satisfaction. That in this COVID time, our company was able to serve in this crisis and make a difference to these lives. Genuinely, not just for the sake of CSR or reporting sake. No. Genuinely, one is able to serve. So ask that question. What is the need in the world today, or the need may rise in future? Like energy crisis is there, and we are seeing climate. It's not a climate change anymore. It's climate crisis. The UN report, which was submitted now, speaks about that very clearly. It's a climate crisis, and in 20 years it will become irreversible. So what is the need in future? Suppose plastic consumption has to be reduced, or greenhouse gases have to be reduced, alternative fuel has to be thought through. What is the need in future, and how will I contribute towards that? So that will demand innovation also, that will fulfill the need of society also, that brings a lot of satisfaction also. What do I want the world to remember me for? These are some questions to ask about service aspect. As I said, these are only a few questions I have put down. There could be other ways to discover one's own calling in each of these aspects or in some other aspects also. But the idea is only this. If you have been able to answer in different 5 points, different questions that we have, if you found some common trends across your answers, this could be a good indication of what is your Swadharma, what you are really made for as a person, who you are, and then live according to that in various aspects of the life. Yes. So that is the last slide. Swadharma and Paradharma we actually did. That shloka of the Gita was the last one, correct? So that's where I want to stop for today, and we have exceeded our time by 8 minutes. But if anybody has any questions, you are welcome to ask. You want to share anything, you are welcome to.
If anyone has any questions, you can raise your hands or put it on the chat box, however you're comfortable.
Did you find this useful? Good.
Very much, Swamiji.
All right. Thank you, everyone. It was nice to interact with all of you. Wish you all success. I hope this takes you 2 steps closer to discovering who you are, and wish you great success and happiness.
Swamiji, I have a question. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Looking at my personality trends and my patterns, if I arrive at a decision and I declare, I say that this is my Swadharma, but in future, if those trends change and I observe that this was not who I am, or now I have changed, then how to be stable on one thing? How to determine that this is the only Swadharma?
See, that's why we are considering those 5 different points, and from different standpoints, when I ask myself different questions, I will come to a certain thing which is stable in me. And also I'm doing the number of so those questions for different age groups that we did, right? 1 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 and above. So
yeah, right.
That also will show certain stability. So if I put all this together, predominantly what is my stable nature will I will come to know. In future, there are possibilities of something absolutely unknown, which is unknown today, to manifest. Then at that point in time, I have to figure out whether I want to make a shift or I don't want to make a shift. That is a situation at that time. But as of now, with all these points, what is stable, one will come to understand, and then one should stick to that.
Thank you.
because this includes my life, many years of the past, plus different holistic standpoints, plus people's perceptions also. Na? When we said you ask this question to some others also, who can also tell you about yourself. So it is a very, in a way, a balanced approach. So one will come to.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you, Swamiji. And if there are no other questions, I'd just like to wrap up with a few announcements as well. So firstly, thank you so much to all of you for joining us, and of course to Swamiji for conducting this session and sharing the knowledge with us. We really hope you all enjoyed the workshop and would really request if you could please share your feedback. So we're going to share a link on the chat as well as on that WhatsApp group. So we'll dissolve that WhatsApp group soon. Just going to share these couple of links. It would be very valuable for organizing future sessions. As we said in the beginning, today's session was organized by CHIK or Chinmaya Kendra. So we'd just like to share another glimpse of what being a CHIK entails. So just a short video.
Some of you are already chicks, some of you are welcome to join our youngster, the Chinmaya Kendra. So that's the objective of sharing the video.
So that's a little glimpse of what CHIK is. If you'd like to stay up to date with other CHIK Mumbai activities, do join our Telegram group. So we'll share a link for that as well on our WhatsApp chat. We have, regular classes and activities. So we'll also share some, like a flyer, with some of the ongoing classes and people you could contact in case there's something that you're interested in. I'd also like to take this opportunity to announce two of Chinmay Mission Mumbai's upcoming programs. To celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi, we invite you to Chinmay Priya Ganesh Sadhana with Swamiji, which will be from the 10th to 14th of September. So join us for Ganesh Puja, Aarti and Visarjan, as well as daily satsang with Swamiji over the 5 days. So again, we'll share this flyer on the WhatsApp chat as well. And the next program we have coming up is ABCD, Achieve the Best, Cultivate Detachment, a series of talks by Swami Swatmananda on detachment, which will be from 21st to 25th September. So this program will be conducted live on Zoom, but registration is mandatory. So definitely register if you're interested in joining.
This program is very, very helpful because a lot of wrong notions about detachment we have. And each day there is one different topic. How do we apply detachment at work? So much stress and tension people go through at work. Detachment is very helpful to improve the performance also, keep the mind cool and calm and stress free. So detachment at work is the first day. Detachment in relationships. People tell each other, no, give me space. That is detachment only. Detachment from past regrets, hurts. So many times we carry so much burden of past regrets, which we could have done, we didn't do, or somebody hurt me, or I did something wrong, I'm not able to let go. So detachment from that. Detachment from future anxiety. What does future hold? That is such a big question always. And detachment from body identification. We are something greater than this body. So who are we? So each day there's a different topic, and it will happen like this on Zoom. So do register so that you get added to the respective group and you get the links, like how you did for this program. Go ahead.
No, Swamiji, that's the end of the announcements for today. Like I said, that WhatsApp group we've created currently is temporary. We'll dissolve it soon. So we'll just share all these details that I've mentioned. And yeah, after that, we'll dissolve the group. That's it from my end. Thank you so much, everybody, and Swamiji for joining in. I'm sorry for going a little bit overboard. Thank you for sticking on and your patience today.
So we end with a small prayer. Wishing well-being for everyone. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om purnamada purnamidam purnat purnamudachyate, purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.